And good morning. Let's do all of our technical checks here. Let's make sure we got audio and we've got all that stuff coming through. And it looks like we do. Excellent. Okay. So we got that going. We got that going. Okay. Um, all I could think of before I hit go on this was staring at this microphone in front of me and doing a really bad Robin Williams "Good Morning Vietnam" yell, but uh, that would just be a dishonor to Robin Williams. So there's no way I'm going to do that. But that's all I could think about this morning. So um, today is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. Unfortunately, my 4-year-old is still sick. So I'm kind of splitting duties with my wife right now as we watch him. So I'm going to get through a couple things with the Equip UI, get that done. Got a couple bugs to fix. Let's see here with resetting the players and stuff like that. So I just want to get through those core things today, and then if there's time, start roughing out the UI that we're going to see for the screen. I think we might have to revisit the resolution that we're playing the game in, because 320 by 200 is not a whole lot of workspace, and most people are going to be playing it with um, a higher resolution monitor than that. So we may want to scale up the actual resolution your game runs at and then just zoom in the camera a different level, so then we can work with it still and still get the look we're looking for, but a higher resolution for the UI. But we'll get to that when we get there. Right now we're going to just get the rough equip UI working so that we can then actually take items and accessories away from our characters and put them on the characters from their Town Hall Guild. And give me one moment here while I mute my phone because I forgot to do that. There we go. Okay. Put that right over there. Okay. So we got our, let's see here. We got that. Let's see. Let's jump over into our plan for the day. I had to go back through, and you just have those weeks where you just kind of feel like your brain's not quite in sync with what you need to do, and it's you're trying to get in line and you're just discombobulated. And it's kind of like me this morning. I usually have Thursdays a good pattern of I prep for the stream, I take my son to school, I get home, do the last minute prep, the stuff I do, technical stuff, and then start the stream. With him not going to school right now, it's just totally thrown off my morning. You think with more time I'd feel more uh, put together and stuff, but not the case. Okay, so let's see here. So we're going to do that. Let's go back over here and let's just double check our. We're going to do the equipment here. And then we got to do the basic UI. There is a lot of stuff that still needs to be done for this game, but I want to get it into a playtest state. And I realized that we need a couple more things here before we're ready for playtest state, because once we have the equip screen and the UI screen, we still don't have items dropping. We don't have a way for the party to get new items besides the store. And maybe for the playtest, that's all we do. And we just let them go into the dungeon and kill orcs and collect gold and just buy the stuff from the store. Maybe that's what we'll do. We still have to build all the items. That's what I was kind of hoping to do next week, if I can get the UI done this week, and then we can. And by done, I mean we're roughed in, usable, playable, and a prototype. Um, that's where it's going to be. So that's my goal today. Let's get the equip screen going so we can actually put the stuff, and then maybe we'll go into our monsters and add a thing so that they can drop some equipment. Right now we've only got, I think, let me pull this up here. Dungeon fodder. Yeah, I haven't touched it since July, so it feels like it's been forever. Let's see here. What do we have in our items right now? We only have 4 items, I think. Yeah, we only have the 4 items right now. Morning, Bree. Um, so we definitely need more items. We have, I don't remember, I think I linked it in the video description, but let me just bring this up here. Google Sheets. I did share, there's a link in the description for this video. So this is publicly available, and you feel free to. I just enabled comments on it, so that you can actually add comments and suggest some items to add in here. Like Can Evan here has graciously added, I think, what, 7 items here? Yeah, 7 items. Um, to possibly add in here. Because if this is going to be all based on your level advancement, it's going to be based on your loot. I think we're going to need a little bit more than 47 items um, to make that happen. But at least for the playtest, this should hopefully get us enough um, that we can get through the playtest, and then we can go off that. But that's the plan right now. So we still got to build all these. And with these, as I was going through a lot of this stuff, I was realizing, oh, we need to add in some additional systems. We need to be able to, we've got some of this stuff in place, but we need to add in some more. Trying to remember here, like being able to revive a downed ally and stuff like that. We don't have the downed condition right now. So that one we're not going to be able to make use of and things like that. So it's going to be fun. But without further ado, let's get over to our tracker and let's work on. I'm going to start with this, the reset player status when entering town. There's a couple bugs I need to fix, but we're going to start using that. So the first one is I have to, again, thank Can Evan for being my editor and pointing out every time I misspell things. So like priest, priest, there we go. So we need to make sure that we spell things correctly, especially with an enum, or else that's going to really throw us off. The other thing I want to be able to have in here in the item data is we want a function can equip, because we're going to check against this right here, the enum, to make sure that the item that the player is trying to put on, especially in our equip screen, is something that they're allowed to equip. So we're going to send in the, I don't want to call it player, character. And that's going to be of class actor. And then this is going to be a bool because we want to define, yes or no. So if allowed classes dot is empty, and then we can just return true because that's saying anybody is allowed to equip this. Okay. And then we can just say if player, if character is priest. See, spelling errors. We got to make sure we get those right. And class, class.priest. Yeah, in allowed classes. And we can return. Wow, I can't spell this word. Return true. And then we're just going to do the same exact thing for all of our other character classes. So we got a priest. Okay. So then here we're going to do class priest and class. Let's see what's next on our list. Barbarian. Okay. Oops. We want to do the all in capital letters. Okay. And then down here we're going to replace this. Oops. So the only downside to using this, the alternate click, so you can type in multiple places at once. If you misclick it one time, you have to start the whole thing over again. Rogue. Oops. Capital letters. Okay. And then here is going to be wizard. Okay. Rogue wizard. Okay. Oh. Okay. The class names. Okay. The class names are not capital. Trying to find a shortcut this morning and I messed up. See, this is like I was saying before, with my brain is just not functioning properly. Return false. Okay. So if it doesn't match any of these, if it has an assigned class and we don't match, then we can return false. So that's going to be our can equipped. So that's just going to be a real quick check for when we go into the equip screen. We don't want to show things for, like, if we have the rogue selected, we don't want the two-handed greatsword or something like that. So, okay, let's see here. So we got that. We've got the store, and there's one thing I wanted to double check on the store. I don't remember if we did, and I was thinking about it the other day. Did we do? Where did we do the purchase? Purchase item container, shop item. I think this is it. Where we can do the buy item. Here we go. Yeah, we didn't check to make sure if there's enough gold or not. So let's just add that in. We don't really need it for functionality. It could be done in cleanup, but so let's see. So we got to subtract the item cost, and we can add the item to the manager. We omit this and update the description to say how many we have. So before we do this, we need to validate if we can buy it or not. So we need to say if game manager dot gold minus item cost, item dot item cost is less than 0, then we can just do do we want to do a signal? Let's do a signal here. When we make the UI a little bit more user friendly, we can do a signal like an error here like that, so then we can like bounce the thing like, hey, you don't have enough money, or bounce the gold. Is what we probably could do. We could just send the signal and shake the gold container saying, hey, you don't have enough gold. So you give the player a reason why they can't buy that. So let's do a purchase denied. Okay. So then down here, we can do a purchase denied dot emit. And then we can just do a return here, because we don't want to go through. We don't want to add it. We don't want to purchase any of that stuff if we don't have enough gold. I think that should be all we need for that. We should probably put a reason. Yeah, let's put a reason here. So let's do a string. And then here we're going to put not enough gold. There we go. So then we can omit that, and then we can make use of this later on. Let's see, where do we connect that? Right here, item container. Item container. New button hovered. Here we go. We can do new button button purchase denied connect, and then we want to call it denied. We'll just call it denied. That's fine. And then we can come down here. We make our function denied. We're going to take in the reason, and that's going to be a string. Void, and then let's see, what do we want to do with this? What can we do? We have access to the shop menu. What is in the shop menu? Do we have a gold? We do have current gold. That's a label. That's perfect. You know what? We can do that. We can do current gold. Yeah, let's do so we got shop menu here. Shop menu dot current gold dot let's see, if reason equals not enough. This is not how you want to do this. Not enough gold. You don't want to do it this way, because then you're trying to match an exact string, and that's not good. But I'm just kind of brute forcing this in here for right now. But that's not the way you should properly do that. And then we're going to do Let's call it not enough gold. Okay. Okay, and then what we can do, come over here into our shop menu here. We take a look at our gold here. Okay, and then let's add a child node to this. Let's add an animation player right here. Let's add a script to this. Create gold, extends label, that's fine. Let's add our function, not enough gold. And then we need to bring in the animation player. Okay. Oops, right here. Animation.play. Not enough. E-N-O-U, enough gold. Okay. I'll put those in quotes. Okay. So then we'll say there's not enough gold. So then we come into our animation player here and we do this, and then we can do a new animation, call it not enough gold. Okay. And then we can make use of the 4.7 nice add-ons that they've done. They have the where is it, the pivot, is it the position? They had a new one here where you can basically mess with the thing without actually destroying where it is lined up with the box. Where is that here? And we can just use this. This is fun. Offset transform. There it is. There we go. So we come down here to our offset transform. And then we can just use this, because then what they'll do is it'll keep the gold in its position, and we'll just mess with the label and it won't affect everything else. Because if we mess with the other stuff, it could move all of our containers around. So that's what this offset transform is supposed to do in 4.7. So we're going to make use of that and see if we can make a quick little animation. So let's start with, let's key in our current one. Create that. So then we have our reset. Same with, we want to do a scale. Yeah, let's do a scale as well. Okay. So what this is doing is just setting up our resets, and then we'll go in here and we'll tweak those. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to change the color of it. And we'll do this. Okay. So then on the reset, that should, why is that showing black? That should be white. There we go. Okay. Because then down here, we want this to be, we want it to be a red. I'll go like that, red. Okay, and then down here, oops, let's make our, I like using 1/10 of a frame. 1 second's gonna be too long. Let's do like, so like 0.2, let's do 0.4 seconds. Yeah. Okay. So then if we insert the key here and we do this and we make that back to white, okay. That seems like a good time frame. Okay, and then so this is our offset transform position, and this is scale. So let's start our scale. Let's just insert here. If we do this, then we have our default keys, what we're going back to at the end, and then we can adjust the beginning. So let's do a scale of 1.5 and 1.5. Okay, so then when this starts, yeah, we get that nice little thing there. And then here's our transform, and then we can do a it like a shake up and down. So we'll leave the X alone. Let's just do a Y. So if we want to bump it up first, let's do a -5, and then right here we'll do, this will be a +5. It'll be quite a drastic change. And then we'll do right here, this will be we'll make that one -2. And this one, we'll make this a 2, and then it'll end at 0. Oops. Did I just do I did the scale. We don't want to do that with the scale. My bad. Okay. Okay, so that's fine there. This is fine. 5. Okay, let's insert our keys here, and then we can just change them. Okay, so this will be 5. This will be -2. And this will be +2. Okay, so now we got that. If we try to buy something, it's not the best animation, but you kind of get what I'm going for here. And then we could add sound, but we haven't done any sounds yet, so we're not going to worry about that right now. But so that should be that. So now if we go in here and we try to, go buy something, you can see we don't have enough money, so we can't buy anything. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we did that. Did the sufficient funds. We did that. Let's see here. We updated the gold label already. We've done all that stuff. I'm just going through my list of items from last week to make sure that we did everything. Yeah, not worried about that. Okay, I guess we're up to build the equip screen. Okay, so I don't really have a good idea really on how to do this, so I'm kind of gonna shoot from the hip. So I'm gonna take a lot of this layout right here, and I'm just gonna kind of reuse it, slightly differently, but it's gonna be a lot of the same. So I'm just gonna save this right now. The scene, save scene as, and we've got a shop menu. Let's call this the equipment menu. Thank you very much for the vote of confidence that I've got this. Um, it's like I said, it's been a slightly rough morning, so my brain is just not firing. That's what happens when you have a 4-year-old with a fever that doesn't sleep very well. Okay, so this is going to be, let's change this to equip party. Okay, you know what? I want to add in, this is an HBox, right? HBox, yes. Let's add in one more label, Control D, because I want to call this the Armory, ARMOR, Armory, and Adventurer, TUR, Adventurer Hall. For some reason, that spelling just looks very weird to me. Center, we need this one to expand. Boom. And then let's see here. Vertical alignment, that's fine. That's fine. We want this one to also expand. There we go. So then we get this centered. Armory and Adventurer Hall. Adventurer, Adventurers. Yeah, that looks better. Adventurers Hall. Maybe we don't even need the Armory. Maybe just Adventurers Hall. Oops. There we go. Adventurers Hall. That works fine. Okay. And then I'm going to move this gold. I'm going to put this up here. Should we keep? I feel like maybe we should probably keep the exit buttons in the same spot. He never sleeps. uh, the last 2 weeks, that's how it's felt. Yeah, wait, let's go back to our shop menu. Maybe I want to shop. We got the item description down here, so we can just add another label. Equip party. We don't really need. You know what? We don't need the gold really. Now that I think about it, because we're not buying anything, we're not selling anything in the Adventurer Hall. We don't need the gold reference, so we can get rid of the gold entirely. So let's just take this out. Okay. This is going to become, instead of items to buy, these are going to be available equipment. Because this is going to be our list of all of the stuff that we have. I want to include the description underneath the equipment in there. Or do we just maybe keep it? Maybe we'll just keep it like this so that we can save on code by reusing it. And then over here, we need the actual party. I don't need this current count. Do I need anything else over here? Probably just a label over here to tell us, what we're doing. So, oh, we already got equip party. We don't really need a label over here. Let's just get rid of this. Let's see. Where is that one? That one is this one. Yeah, there we go. Current count container. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay. We don't need this spacer. Okay. So we have our available equipment. We'll have our party over here. And I'm trying to think, do I want to do it so we look at each character independently or as a full party? I think each character independently might make things a little bit easier. So if I come over to this box, let's see, we got a gold container, V-box. Where is the, okay. So here, this is the master, and then this will be the sub container. Okay, so this gold box, let's get rid of this H. Here, this is going to be called our character box, character container. Okay. I'm going to detach that because we don't want that script on there. Okay. So we're at my character container here. And let's add, should this become a margin container? I don't know. We want a tab container. I'm trying to remember, do I need the separate tab bar, or does it do, when I add the control nodes, does it automatically create it? It automatically creates it. Okay. So I don't need the, so like this one will be rogue. Okay. Okay. So that, and then we need, what did we set these at? These are font size 8. Okay. So all of this, is it just over here? Or is it just in the tab container? Tab container. There we go. Font sizes. Font size 8. Maybe want to go. See, this is the problem. It's going to look good here, but when we run the screen, oh, right, because we've got, hold on. Detach this, detach this. There we go. And then let's just delete that entirely for right now. Okay, so this, there we go. Okay. Well, actually, that doesn't look too bad at 4. We can actually see. Okay, that might be good. Okay, so let's rename this to Rogue, Priest, Barbarian. I'm not using them in the same order, which I really should, but I mean, we can just drag and drop those later. So then we can just do here, and then we can show their slots, what they have equipped. Okay. So that's fine there. Here is, we have our town inventory. Which will be able to steal the shop logic. So let's see, I am container here. We'll steal this. Come back over here to this item container. Yeah, and then we'll add a new one, and we'll call this the equip item container. And we're just going to steal the, did I steal the right one? Shop item button. Yeah, okay. This is it, but I'm just going to comment that out because it's going to become an equip item button. And then we have to figure out what the scene's going to be. Okay. That should be fine. I don't need access to the shop menu. Okay. We get the children. Come back into this. And instead of calling it shop menu, let's call this equip menu. Equip menu. And then we can do, there's the new, oops, EQ, equip item button. It's probably going to give us an error, but if we just do this and we do equip and keep our code at least working down here. Item purchase denied. We'll change those in a second here. But what we need is, did we have where did we get how we populate it? Where is our array reference? For item in equip menu dot shop inventory items. Okay, so this is not what we don't need this. We don't need that. What we need is this needs to be the game manager dot do we call it? A town inventory? Town inventory dot items. There we go. So then anything that's in our town inventory, anything we bought in the shop or anything we found in the dungeon, will show up now here as a child. Okay. That's fine. We don't need the denied. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little bit more quick loop-to-loop logic here. You know, just for shop item container, shop item button. So let's just do this for right now. And then if we do like an F6, it should be just blank. Yeah. And then because I believe if we go to our game manager, we have our town inventory, which is just inventory.new. If we go into our inventory, and then here is just a blank array of items. So if we want to give it an item data, so if I add that in there, that's a string. I need to do a load. Or is there a preload? Preload that. Okay. So then now, if I'm right, we should start with daggers. Yep, there we go. So we already have daggers in there. But yeah, when I hovered it, it tried to do some things that we can't do right now. So, okay. So that works. And then I'll go back to our inventory here. We will, where did I just put inventory? We'll just take this out because we don't want it to actually be in there. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that the scene was working properly. So it is. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. What else do we need to do? We need to do that's our exit button. This exits us back to, we're gonna need a script here, equip menu. We need a reference to this function ready, and then exit button dot connect. And then I'm trying to remember here, and this, I think we just, all we did was, oops, that's the button itself. Exit button pressed, close shop. And this is all we did, was this. Okay, so let's just basically do the same exact thing here, but we're going to call it close equip. Okay, exit button dot connect. Oops, dot pressed connect, and we're going to call it close equip. Okay, and then we'll call it equip closed dot emit. Okay, so we got that. Boom. So if we go back here to our town menu, we have our shop menu. Now if we find here our equip menu, there we go. Boom. Open shop. Shop closed. Okay. So, oops. Let's do these two. We'll copy these down. Open equip. Equip closed. Okay, and then we need to change this from shop to equip. Oh, did I not give that a... I gave that a class name. Okay, so we need this. Let's give this a class name. Equip. There, save. Okay, and then we come back over to our town. EQUIP, equip, equals equip menu. Okay, then instantiate, add child equip. Equip closed. Connect into EQUIP closed. Okay, equip close, equip, disconnect from equip. And then I need to put in here equip, and that is of type equip. Probably a far easier way to do that than what I just did. But okay, shop menu, we need to add one more. We need to add in the equip button. Press connect open equip. Okay, so let's just double check here. We got the button pressed, goes to here. We instantiate the new equip menu. We add the child, equip closed, and then on a close, we refresh the UI and we disconnect the signal. Okay, that's fine. So the refresh UI, we'll probably also have to do a reset emit. What's the... That's rest. I want to do ready. What are we doing here in the town when we show all the party container? We do update roster. Okay. So let's do town.rest.connect update roster. So if we just have a reference to the party container, we can call the update roster. Do we have a reference to the party container? No, but we have the signal rest. Oh, we can still just call rest emit because all the healing is actually done here in the heal party. So we can just do rest.emit and then shop closed, refresh UI. Refresh UI. We can also do a rest.emit right there. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. Can we do our equip screen? Yep, exit. Okay, shop, exit. Perfect. So now we have all this. We can heal, we can equip, or we can access the equip screen. Okay, so we got that. Let's actually make their equip screen work now. Okay, so let's see here. Equip screen. We need to be able to, you know what? Let's make it so we can buy it. Let's just double check something here. Let's where do I track? I think it was game manager. Game manager, gold. Okay, let's give ourselves 500 gold to start with. And then we can buy these items. And then this is kind of going to break, but I just want to make sure it's working properly. So let's buy, one of each. Boom. Okay. Exit. Then if we go into equip, as long as I don't hover over an item, it shouldn't crash. Okay. So now we have all the items we bought. Exit. Go back into equip. And then, of course, as soon as I hover, it crashes. Okay. So that's all confirmed. We are adding that all into the inventory. We've got the inventory. Now we need to create a new button. So let's open up our shop menu button that we have before. Hello there. I was sleeping. Obviously, you don't have young kids who get you up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But welcome, welcome, Danny. Let's see here. So we've got here's our shop menu item. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. This is our item to buy. So we're going to create a new version of this. Save scene as equip item button. Okay, so we'll save that. Equip item button. Okay. Sleep is overrated. I used to think that back when I worked like night shift and stuff, and now since becoming a parent, sleep is an invaluable resource that I can never get enough of. Okay. Item to equip. What we got here? Item purchase. We don't need that. Item equip. My son is a runner. That's how my excuse me, my autistic son likes to calm himself. His calming method is to run and pace back and forth, and so we know when he's overstimulated because that's what he likes to do. Let's see here. Item purchase denied. We don't need that. Item hovered. We do want that because we want to have that show up in the bottom there. Item data currently hovered. Yep. The big difference, what we want to do here though, is I feel like what I want to do is I want to make this scene slightly different. I want to have like the icon, the description, and then the equip button on the right. So I feel like I need to be a little bit different in this. So I'm wondering here, do I keep it as the entire button, or do I just make it? My kid's at my mom's, so not right now. That would be awesome. Be able to sleep in and get a lot of rest. Okay, so let's do. Now you know what? In terms of, we have a limited budget that we're working on. So let's speaking of which, actually, you know what? Let's go back over here. Let's stop this and let's go back over and do this one. We're working on the equip screen. There we go. So we can track our time properly. Okay. Yeah, so let's do icon, which I think we have right now in this script. Did I start removing things out of here that I didn't mean to? I did. Okay. This is the downside of accidentally using a duplicate script. There we go. Let's try this again. Equip item button. Okay. Now we can take out item item equipped. I'm going to call item equip request. What I'm going to do there. Item hovered. That's fine. This is going to be press.connect, and this is going to be equip item. Okay. Text equals this item name plus, we don't care about the gold, so let's get rid of that. Press.connect is going to be equip item. This is going to become equip item. Okay. We don't need if gold manager, but what we need is if item. Remember, we just did this function in our item our item class here. Where is it here? Item item data. Here we go. We just did can equip, so that's what we want to use here. If item dot can equip. Okay, and then we need to send it the current character. So what we need is a reference to our current character, which is going to come from the equip menu. I'm just going to move the shop menu over there. And then here, we're going to come from whichever one of these is active. So let's do equip menu. We'll put it up here. We'll do a var current character, current character. That's going to be an actor, and that's going to, yeah, we'll just do a null for right now. And then what we can do is the rogue. So when this is ready, we need, let's just assign right here. We'll just do current character equals game manager dot party members 0. There we go. So then that's going to equal whoever our current character is. And then what we could probably do is, do I want to reorder the, no, we'll come back to that. Anyway, sorry, my brain is, I feel like ADH squirrel right now, jumping all over the place. Equip item button, here we go. Okay, so equip item button. If item can equip, we should do if not. If we can't do it, then we should not display the item. So then what we can do is want to do, oh, you know what we could do? Instead of doing it this way, what we'll do is when we populate the list, we'll run the check if we can equip the item or not. And if we can't equip the item, then we won't show it at all. Okay, so don't worry about that. So town manager, we're going to remove the item here. Okay, we're going to remove the item, but we need to take the current, oh, I did all that just so I could go up here, grab the equip menu. My normal workday starts around 10, take a break when she gets home from school, then from 9 to 2 a.m. I had to impose the 2 a.m. limit myself after all-nighters. Yeah, I miss those days back when I did a lot of coding. It was, especially with my job, they're kind of like, work whatever hours you want as long as you get it done. And there's a lot of times where I just got into that groove with the music and headphones on, just doing programming until the sun came up. Okay. Okay, so where was I here? We got the equip menu. Here we need to then do equip menu dot current character dot what we do in the actor. Actor. Is that where we put the inventory? We put it on the player. Oh, that's right. We have equipped weapon and equipped accessory. Well, we've only built weapons right now. Okay, so what we need to do then is we need to figure out what it is. So if item, what we call these, item, do we call it item type? What do we call it again? Item type. And item type, okay. So if item type equals item type weapon, current equip menu, current character equipped weapon, we need to do this. We need to add it. So oops, this needs to be add. So we will take the current character's equipped weapon, put it into our inventory for the town hall, for the Adventurers Guild. So we'll take that, the current weapon there, and then we can take the, oops, no, we want this right here. We're going to take this, and then we're going to set that equal to this item, equal to the item. Let's see here. Equip menu, town manager. Oops, I didn't mean to delete. Didn't mean to delete that. I wanted to copy that. Okay. So we do this equals item, right? And there we go. Okay. Wow. Just ADH squirrel again. So town inventory, we add the character's currently equipped item to our inventory. We then replace the current character equipped weapon with this item, and then we remove this item from the town inventory. So we could just put this here because this is going to be, these slots are going to be dependent upon what it is. So if this is going to be a type accessory, okay, and then this will be equipped ACC, and this will become a current equipper wep ACC, okay. So then what that's going to do is it's going to then take and swap those two out. I just realized something though. It's great and all, but that will fail if there is no accessory currently equipped. So right here, we need to add in a safety check. So if, if equip menu, so if there is a currently equipped weapon, then we can take that weapon and put it in the inventory. And then we take the item, put it onto the character. Okay, that should be fine there. We'll want to do the same exact thing here. So we'll do if this equipped ACC. So if there's an item there, if there's not, then we don't need to worry about it. Okay, that should be fine there. And instead of item purchased, we did item equipped. Yeah, we'll do that. Item equipped. Okay, and then we can emit the signal saying, hey, we equipped the item. And then we can we don't need to update the description. That's fine. Hovered. Okay, that should be fine there. Update description, game manager, town inventory items count live. Don't care about that. We just want this. Item hovered, emit. String int. I don't think I need the int, because we don't care about how many. Just that. Okay. So now if we want to equip it, now we should be able to take it from the screen on the right and put it onto the character. Okay. I think I'm really bad at that. Oh, put it in safety checks, or what are you really bad at? Just refilling my water here before I get hoarse throat. Let's see here. I'm gonna start a project at work all night. Oh yeah. It's real easy to do, especially when, like, the wife and the kids are asleep and it's all nice and quiet. You're like, I can focus. So okay, so we got all that. We're emitting these signals here to the equip menu. So that's our equip button. So let's go back to our equip menu. Item container, we did. This is our equip button, so this will show us all that. We don't have a current count, so we can get rid of that. You have the item description. That's fine. This should all still be the same. Yep, that should all be the same. Okay. Okay. And then this equip closed. Was there another signal? I feel like there's another signal I'm missing here that we need to connect to. Exit button press. Item container train. Yeah, there we go. So we got that current characters. We need the item container. Wait, what was the item container again? This is there's the item container. So this is actually gonna be the same reference. So we can call this the same in the equip up here. Equip menu. Here we go. So that should still be the same. But this, the item container, this one, okay, okay, so transaction, emit, okay, so that should still be the same. Why is this flagging me? Oh, because refresh UI doesn't exist. Okay. Yeah, so let's just add that in. Let's do a pass right now because we haven't built our characters yet, so we can't refresh our characters. Okay, so we got that. That should work. So if we buy some items, we should not be crashing right now. So if I buy some items, boom, 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 come back into our equip screen. Hey, there we go. Okay, so we got these. We got a rogue. If I want to equip something with a rogue, let's see here. Game manager, rogue. Currently equipped item. Where is it here? Inventory. Here we go. So right now he's got daggers equipped. Well, I don't have. You know what? Let's do this. Let's clear. Okay. So right now he doesn't have anything equipped. So if I go in here and we got, equip. So we got the rogue. If I equip this, oh, you know what? I don't know which one is my current player 0. Yeah, we might need to know who our player 0 is. So let's see here. We got this. Here's our game manager. This. Let's do a print error so we can see it. Our current character. Current character is. Now, equip screen. Current character is indeed the rogue. Okay, so let's go into our rogue. Rogue, let's unequip him so he has nothing in his inventory right now. Okay, come in here, we buy the rogue some daggers. We come back, we go into our equip menu, we have our rogue. Let's equip this. Did it actually work? Rogue. Did not. I see you're not amongst the dozens of us who line up their declarations and get made fun of. Probably a good decision. Specifically, what do you mean by that? Just the way that I arrange all my stuff and making sure it's all neat and tidy? Let's see here. Equip. So when we go here, when we do the equip button, equip item. So on pressed, equip item. So let's just add in some equip and weapon. Whoops, not press. That should be print. Let's see here. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, so we're not hitting that line of code. Okay. So are we even hitting this at all? QUE, sure. Just to know if we're even getting there. We're not even getting there. Okay. So what are we doing wrong? So we got the equip item button. This is showing up ready. If an item, we got the icon, we got the press connect equip item. Why is this not showing though? Okay, let's item container. New button.purchase.connect update. Well, this isn't purchased. This should be equipped. Don't think that that's going to make any difference, but you know what? Invalid access to item equipped. New button. New button. Oh, because... see? Simple, stupid things. There we go. Helps if we use the right buttons. Okay. So here we go. Now, button variable of type equip menu. Okay, so did not. Oh, I know why. Because it doesn't have the right reference because I don't have a sample one added to this VBox container. So now when I have this, that should give me the right. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now let's see. Rogue. Equipped items. Where is he? Equipped items. Dagger. Hey, that worked. Okay. But we need to refresh this because this I don't believe exists anymore. Because if we come in here, yeah. So it did take it out, but we're not when we equip it, we're not refreshing that town UI. So we need to now when this happens, item equipped, back to the item container. Right here, we got update. So update. This needs to be the refresh UI, which would be basically this. Let's cut this out. We're just going to cut this and we're going to call refresh item list. How about that? Refresh item list. Refresh item. Oops. Okay. Doesn't really seem like I've been using a computer for that long with how poor my typing skills are. Okay, refresh item list. Refresh item list. It's right here. Oh, what did I do? Now, you know what? I do still want... I want that to happen. Why? What did I do? What did I do? Function refresh item list not found in base self. It's right there. Did I miss? Oh, because I misspelled it. Oh. Hey, Ken Evan, I caught that one before you did. Okay. So then on the update, then it should refresh. Okay. So if we come in here, we buy our rogue a dagger. We come in here, we got our rogue, we equip the dagger. It's gone. Okay. Okay, so that works. Now let's get our character showing all the stuff that they have. Okay, so if we come back in here, we got over there. So we'll start on the rogue. We'll add the script here. Create. We don't want to call it rogue. We're going to call it equip character. because we're going to make it useful for whichever character's here. Okay, so now what we need to do here is, so I get too lazy to do it. Let's see here. So now we need to go through and we need to create a list of all the slots that this current character has. So we've got, spelling is hard. I have an animation that's invisible. Now, is it supposed to be invisibility or invincibility? One day I'll fix it. Yeah, that's there's one word for the life of me. I think it's the word response. I think I always try to spell it. It's either with a C or an S or something like that, and I always spell it wrong every single time. And if it wasn't for autocorrect, it would be wrong in every single email I ever wrote. Okay. So let's see here. We're going to populate this. We need the weapon slot, the accessory slot, and I think I'm going to give them all 4 pouches. Right now, we only have the 2 slots. I haven't made the pouch array yet. My voxel game jam game is generate date instead of generate data. Yep. Yep. That sounds very, very much like something that I would do. Okay. So we need to go through here. What we need to do is, so when this one becomes active, we need to set the current character. So we also need a reference here to the equip menu. Okay, so when this is function ready, I'm trying to think what I need to do on this one. So happy I live in the time of spell check, although my autocorrect is way too confused to get things right at this point. Yeah, it's like the ongoing joke is like, phone, it's never duck. I have never tried to write the word duck. Okay, so what we need to do here is when this becomes visible, function, we need to connect to the signal. Here is visibility changed. Dot connect, and then we're going to do setup tab. There we go. Then we're going to do a function here, function setup tab. I forget too, when visibility changes, does that send any actual value to it, or is it just, no, I think it's just a signal. I don't think it sends any actual values. Okay. Oops, it's the wrong arrow. If visible, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do equip menu that current character equals, we need to get the rogue. So we need to go to the game manager dot party members dot find, and then how do we do this again? Party members is an array of actors. So what we need to do is we need to find the rogue. So I think if we just do find index of first occurrence, so if I just do find rogue, hopefully that should work. Oops, wrong button. Find rogue. Equip menu current character equal, oh, right. So what we need to do is we need to do this, and then this will return the index of the rogue. So then we can set up who our current character is and our party index. The problem is, like right now, I'm manually typing in the party, but if we have a player die, then the index is going to change. I wonder if we should do it a different way. Maybe we should store the party index, because right now it's going to have. No, I don't want to do it that way, because I want to add more characters in the future to this game besides the 4 base classes. So I just want to have it so we can find who's in there. Oh, you know what we could do? Actually, we could set this up so that we name the tabs based on the name in the order of the party members list. We could do that. So here we can do this. We can do on ready. We can do the, we can do an export here. Var tab member number, MEMB, MEMBER number equals 0. Okay. So on ready, we can do name equals party members, and then we do the member number like that, right? Oh, we need string value, str. There we go. Okay, so then what that will do, and if we do this and we take a equip character, we put that on each one of these, right? And then say here we do party member 1, party member 2, and party member 3. Okay, so then that should rename these to whichever is the character that's populated in that slot. Okay, and then so what we can do is then this is our slot number, so we can set up the current character. We don't need to do this anymore. We can just use this, and we can call it member number. There we go. So then we can change the current character to whichever one is selected. Okay, so that should be fine there. Okay, and then what we need to do is we also need now some slots to populate, because we're going to need 5, 6 slots. Okay, so if we use here and we do the equip, we can do these, at least for right now. Equip item button. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's save this as an unequipped file. Scene, save scene as unequip item button. Okay. We're going to pretty much use the same thing here. We're going to just remove this script. We're going to rename this to unequip item button. Attach a new script called unequip. We're going to call this an unequip item unequipped. Okay, item yeah, currently hovered. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, we don't need this anymore. We can take that out. We'll go back and edit those up before. We don't need any of this, really. We can just do unequip item, because all we're going to do is we're just going to take it off and add it to the town inventory. So we can just do game manager, town inventory, add item, equip menu dot current character. No, we still want this, because we only want to try to add it if there's an equipped weapon. But we don't need to do this. Okay. If it's an accessory, we do that. We don't need to do this. And we can do item unequipped.emit. Okay. That's fine. The hovering, yep, that's fine. So all we're doing is, if it's a weapon or accessory, we're just going to unequip them and add them to the game manager town inventory. And then we need to set this item slot to nothing. Oh no, we are, because we need to set the character slot to nothing. Okay. So equipped weapon equals null. Okay, and this one's going to be unequipped ACC equals null. Okay, so now we blank out the slot. We need to probably also do here item equals null. Item equals null. Okay. So if we do that, then that should unequip that. Unequip button. Let's add those in to, oh, what we need one more thing. We need a slot identifier. For our item, that's fine there. That's fine there. Because we can load the item, export var slot type type equals item data dot type dot I wonder, can I do it this way? I don't think I can, but let's see. Oh, it lets me. Okay, so by default it'll be a weapon. Actually, you know what, let's make it a what did I call it? Consumable pouch. Consumable. There we go. So by default, these will be consumable types. So then here, if item type is this, okay, and then on ready, what we'll need to do is we'll need to go through and do these, but I'll get back to that 1 second here. So we need to go here. We need to add in the unequip button. One, we'll just add 2 of them for now. So this one will be a weapon, and this one will be a accessory. Okay, so on rogue, we have those set. So then on ready, if there's an item, so we'll just do right here. Whoops, copy this. So on the setup here, if item, but we don't want item, we want to do slot type. Slot type. If slot type equals item.weapon, then we're going to say item equals game manager dot current. No, not game manager. Yeah, no, it's game manager, but we want to use, oh no, let's use the current character. Yeah, let's use this right here. Let's see. Because this is going to be on, oh no, we want this on, this is on ready. I don't think do I want this on ready? Because didn't we put a visibility change? Oh, we put a visibility change on this. Okay, so that is the visibility change. Okay, so on this, so by default, yeah, okay, so by default, we're going to set this up. We're going to do this, else if it's a accessory equipped ACC. Okay, so if it's either of those, we'll set it to whatever is on the current character. Oh, no, we don't want to do current character. We want to do it to, we don't want to use current characters. We want to use whatever this parent is. So we want to use the parent member number. That's what we want. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's do this. And we're going to do, I don't think I need, I don't need this. I don't need this at all. We can just do our parent. So let's do a var member number equals get parent dot member number. Okay. Okay. So we do that. Copy. Item is going to equal the game manager dot party members dot not dot to type. There we go. Okay, so this is what we want instead. because then we're going to associate the right thing with the right party member. Okay. So if we do this, current character that equipped accessory, okay. And then here, equip menu, current character, that add item to this, equip menu, current character, equipped weapon equals null. So yeah, okay. So this should be what we need here. Sometimes we get a little confused and wander around until we get to the right answer on this stuff. Okay. Let's see here. So we got that. We got that. Do we need to change anything else? Okay. So this should load in our currently equipped stuff. So this. Okay, so if we take these two things, we copy these, and we put these here, here, and here. Okay. So then we've got our weapon slot and we've got our accessory slot. And so then if we run this, we go to our equip screen, we have an error on null instance. Oh, right. This needs to be assigned in the ready function. So let's just put that 0 here. Get parent member number. So member number equals that. That's right. I forgot. Sometimes you have to do that in the ready process. There we go. Okay. And spell check would mean something very different to a mage. Oh god. Don't know if you ever watched Journey Quest with the lactomancer and creates like milk instead of, I forget what spell he's trying to do. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I think the joke was he's dyslexic or something like that, so all the spells cast backwards. Okay. So we did, the name did not go properly because our name ended up with the full resource name, not just the name. Yeah, see here we got rogue character body, but let's just check here. This, and then the priest. Yep. So these all ended up with apprentice one. This ended up with the wooden mace, the crude sword, and nothing here. Okay, so that all worked fine. Update description, if hovered. We can just do if item hovered emit. Okay, so then that way it doesn't crash if there's no item there. Okay, that needs to be removed. So it's item to unequip, but so rogue, barbarian, priest, wizard. Okay. Okay. And then so when this becomes visible, we need to rerun all this fun stuff. But let's go back here and look at our scene. So we got item to equip. Item, this is going to be item to unequip. Okay. So what we need to do is, why is this not populated? If this. Oh, because we didn't go onto the right. So if I go over here to the barbarian. All right, because this is staying on the same tab. It's not. Click, 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 click. Okay. Okay. We get some transparency problems there, but we'll fix that in a second. So we got that populating. Oh, were we able to unequip them? That's what I should have checked. Barbarian. Did the barbarian unequip his weapon? No. Okay. So what we need to do here, we have our member numbers. That's fine. You know, let's just set that out for a second. Visibility changed. If visible, let's just show which one we're working with right now. Okay. And then equip menu, current character. Okay, so we're just setting up this, but we're not. We need to go through and populate each of these. So for C and get, wow, get children. C dot, let's see, what do we call it here? C dot. No, let's cut all this. Set up slot. Okay. Oops. Let's spell it properly here. Function setup slot. Okay. So then if we do that, and then we come back into this c.setup slot. There. Okay. So then got that. We are changing. Why do we have this overlap? This should be. Oh. Okay, so this is a control tab. What we need to do is we need to add a VBox. Okay, whoops. These need to go in there. Okay. And so let's change this and let's say this. Let's do for C in the VBox container dot get children. There we go. Okay, so that will do that. And then we can just come down here. We'll just delete these, delete these, delete these. Oh, such a simple, foolish thing of me to forget. Okay, there we go. Now when we come in here, base object. Okay, so what we should do is probably here, we'll pass in the member number. This will be easier. Member member int. And we'll just default to 0 just in case it doesn't set up anything here. Member number. We don't need it anywhere else, do we? Yeah, we do. Member number. So in here, we'll just set, you know what? Let's do underscore in this. Underscore. And then we can just do member number equals underscore member number. Okay. So then just in case we, oops, in case we pass in a different value here, let's go back into the row, this script here. When we call setup slot, we need to pass in the member number. Save. There. Okay. So that should do that. Okay. So we got 2 items here. Priest, barbarian, wizard. Okay, so if we okay, so we did unequip it, and then when I clicked it a second time because we hadn't refreshed the UI, it crashed. Okay, so now we just have to call back and refresh that setup here. So when we unequip the item, we have unequipped emit right here. And then so we need to go back into here. So we set up the tab, and then we do c.unequipped signal. Whoops, I didn't want to copy the whole thing, just wanted this part. Dot connect signal NECT, and that's going to be refresh. Okay. And then we'll just do a function right here, refresh. Okay. Oops. Okay, and then what do we need to refresh? We need to refresh, basically do this. We need to go for C, in VBox container, get the children. We need to probably clear. No, we don't want to clear them out. That's because we're always going to have the set slots. So we're going to make sure we get all those done. So then we'll go through and we'll reset them up and refresh them. This, we don't need this. Okay. That should be good. So now if we remove things, why did it not refresh? Setup slot. We remove it. Unequip item. Add it to there. Equipped item equals null. Oh, because we have this, but if it's already had an item, we're not flushing it out. So what we need to do is in here, else we need to go through all this, and then we can do icon equals null, text equals blank, equal. Actually, let's just do unequipped, and then we don't need a press because there's nothing to equip. Okay. I realize there's some more problems right there with that as soon as I wrote it. So if we go here, we do this. Okay, now it's unequipped. Yeah, okay. Because this is already connected. So we don't, we'll want to disconnect it if it gets unconnected. So unequipped item, unequipped emit, and then here we want to disconnect it. And then we can do the button is disabled equals true. And if there's nothing here, we can say it's disabled. If there is an item, then we can, oops, let's, then we can make it live. Disabled equals false. Okay. So as soon as there's an item that gets populated there, then that should be good. Okay. So if we come in here, these are unequipped because there's nothing there. This does have something we can remove. Now we can't do anything. Same with this. Now we should have 3 items in the inventory. 1, 2, 3, no daggers. So we add the dagger, come back into our equip, rogue. So we don't have the filter yet. Need to do the filter. Add the dagger, which we don't have here, but as soon as we change tabs, it shows up. So we just have to add a refresh there, add in the wooden mace, add in the crude great axe, add in the apprentice wand. We come back through. Now we have all that stuff equipped. What are our errors that we're getting here? What did I do wrong? Signal pressed is already connected. Okay. Where are you seeing that? There we go. If item, press connect, unequip item. You know what we can do? Let's do this. Let's take that. We can make it set up in the ready. So we don't need to worry about it because then we go through here, set up the slot, and when we disable it, if there's nothing there. So then we don't need to worry about disconnecting it because all we're going to do is we're just going to disable the button. Okay, that should hopefully clear up this. So let's go through here. Let's go here. Let's take away all this. Okay, nobody's got anything equipped. Okay, we still got a couple errors here. This is already set up. Item unequipped, connect, refresh. So if we go through, we set it up, and then we connect refresh. Do I want to just leave it? No, you know what? I'm just going to add in a safety check. If c.item unequipped here we go. We'll just copy this. It'll be a lot easier. Is connected. And then we just say, if it's not connected, then connect it. Okay, that should clear up all that. So if we come down here, boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're not getting repeated stuff here. Let's take this out, take this out. Oops, there we go. Okay, so now we're not getting all those errors. These are all disabled. Okay, let's go buy our dagger. We got one of each of these. Let's go back in here. If we try to do this. Oh, right, we don't have the check yet. We're not, so we can put in, we can put the great axe on the rogue, but we don't want that. We want the great axe on the barbarian. There we go. Great axe, wand, mace. Okay. Okay. So now we've gotten rid of all those errors. That's all good there. Okay. So now we just need to make this refresh when we make a change. So like when I take the dagger away, we need to call that refresh over there. Okay. So we're going to go back up here to this equip menu. We're making changes here. And so this needs a signal. So we've got unequipped right here, refresh. So let's do a signal here. Refresh. SIGNAL. Refresh UI. There we go. I'll just do that. Okay. And then refresh UI.emit. Okay. And then so that is going to come up to here. Boom. So then we can just do this tab container. Copy. And then see, we already have a refresh UI, so that should be fine. Item container. Oh, actually, you know what? We have, where's our item container? That's over, that's when we equip. Okay. Yep. So we're basically going to do the same thing here, except for that's going to be in the tab containers. Okay. For C in tab container dot get children C dot what did we just call those? Those were refresh UI. Dot connect. And then oops, connect. And then that's also going to go to refresh UI. Oop, don't need that. There we go. Okay, so then that should connect in all of our rogue or priest, whatever that we decide to add in there. Okay, now call the refresh UI. So then here's we need to pass the signals to the opposite containers to tell them to refresh. So when we do the refresh in our item container, there's our item container. Here we go. So we have a refresh item list here. So we emit this and then we run the refresh item list. So, you know, we probably don't need this because what we're going to do is we're going to come back up here and we're going to do here, we're going to do the item container dot refresh item list. Okay. And then we're going to do in each of these, we should probably just do it in the current tab container. Can we get current tab? Yeah, there we go. So if we do tab container dot current tab, and then we can just call setup tab. Right? just trying to think through this because it'll already have an assigned member number. Yeah, if we just call setup tab, and then I'll have the, yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so that was under here. Dot setup tab. Oh, this is that an array current tab? No, that's an integer. So that's a current tab. How do we call the current? Let's think about this one. Let's think about this one for a second here. So we need a reference to this control node. These are this. We need to call whatever that is. What would we call the item one? In the item container, we call this transaction. And then we just had a refresh. Okay, so why don't we just build in, we already have a refresh function. Oops. Copy, reload, setup tab. Okay, so then what we can do is we can go through and then if that's visible, then that's what happens. If not, we just, you know what we can do? If not visible, return, and then everything else can just be like this. Okay. Okay, so we'll do that, and then what we'll do is we'll just cycle through the tab container, and we'll just do that again. So we'll do this. I mean, technically, I guess we could just do dot setup tab. Yeah. Yeah, we can just do setup tab, setup tab. Yeah, so we don't need that extra. We don't need this reload. Okay. Okay, whoops, wrong button. Let's see here. Equip. Boom. It's over here. It's over here. Over here, over here. Boom, boom. Okay. I'm going to go back. Go shop. Buy our daggers. Go back into our equip. Put a dagger on him. Get the mace. The great axe. Here we go. Boom. Okay. So now we've got that working. Now we just need to do one more thing. We just need to make sure that we're only showing the items that are available for that character. So when we populate the list over here in the item container, refresh item list, we have for item here, create this. What we need to do is we need to write if item dot can equip, and then we need to send in the current actor, which is we're storing where? Did we store it here? No, we're storing it up here. That's the current character. And we have, do we not have a reference to that? I thought we did. Guess not. Okay. So we do equip menu dot current character. Can equip current character. Boom. Oh, you know what? Again, in the better way of writing code, if you can't do it, then just return. There we go. So if we can equip it, we shouldn't show it. Okay. Let's see if this works. So we go to equip, can't. Take out the wooden mace. Okay, so when we're changing tabs, we need to reload this list too. Okay, so let's go back over here. I knew I was missing something. So when we change tabs here, invisibility change, connect setup tab. If visible, if it's not visible, return. If it is visible, we need to call a refresh emit. Is that going to break things? It might break things. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I felt like that was going to create a infinite loop. Okay. So what we need to do, oops, that's the wrong place. Where did we just change that? We just changed that in the rogue. There we go. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to call over to the item list to tell it to refresh. So here's where we set the current character. So we need to do it after that. So right here, we set up the slot. We go through all the stuff in the slot, and then we should call in the inventory item container dot what do we call it? Refresh item list. There we go. Okay, this should work. I'm not going to leave it like this because I don't like this, call the great grandparent functions. But this should, in theory, work. So if I come here, oh, right, because these are not pulling the names currently. So we take the great axe. Okay. Yep. Okay. Take this, boom, boom, boom. So he can equip that. Why aren't these showing properly? So Barbarian can equip the Great Axe. Rogue, it's not showing anything. This is the Priest. Yep, Wooden Mace. Wizard, Apprentice Wand. Rogue. Okay. Because when the visibility is changing, we're not... But when you come back in here... Did we accidentally delete all of our other items? Nope, they're there. Oh, are we not changing our current character? Maybe that's what the problem is. Equip menu, current character equals this party member number. So we're changing it. So right here, we're clearly changing it. Refresh item list. Oh, wait, what did we do over here? Refresh item list. If item can equip, equipment menu, current character. Let's just print out our errors here. Print error can't equip. Okay. So if we do this, we go into equip right now. We take this away from the barbarian. We go over here. Yep. So it's not showing it because we can't equip it. Not showing it because we can't equip it. Can't equip it. Okay. But here we can. So now if we do this, we should get 2 of them. Why are we only getting the 1? we have 2 items because we have both the mace and the great axe. Did I exit out my thing too fast? For item in town inventory, if the can equip it, print the error can equip. Oh, I don't want to do return. I wanted to do continue. Oh, okay. That's probably okay. That makes more sense. Okay. So now we're only show what can be equipped. Okay. So then if we come back in here and shop, it's probably like a bunch of these things. Okay. Go back in here to equip. Okay, that was a little weird. Why, when I first came in, do we not show anything for the rogue, even though when we come back, it is? Okay, one last little cleanup here. So we come back in here. So when we first come in to the item container, we refresh the item list. Oh, because when we refresh this item list, we are not set up for the current character, so everything's going to return blank. Okay, so when we come into the this menu, ready here, we do all this. We get the children, we refresh the UI in the characters. And then in the characters, we run through these, we set up the tab, and then we call the refresh item list here. Okay, so we don't need this. If we take this out, that should solve that problem. Okay, so there's nothing right now. Come back, figure that out in a second. Shop, daggers, come back, equip. Was there a button that didn't get cleared? Yeah, I think there was a button that didn't get cleared as a result of that. Equip. Yeah, this right here, this equip item button. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we come in here, we buy a dagger. Still not setting it up properly. So okay, we're getting very close to time here, but we're almost there. Okay, so we need to, and right on cue, my son sounds unhappy. Okay, that's shop menu. I don't want shop menu. I want equip menu. Item container. Here we go. So we want to refresh the item list. So we're going to go through here. We're going to queue free everything. And then we're going to go through based on the current character. What if we do a... This is just because I want to see if it's a create timer. Let's do like a 1 second timeout. Let's just see if that 1 Mississippi. Yep, there we go. Okay, so if we just do a maybe physics frame, that is that gonna be enough? Let's find out. Yep, that'll be enough. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Okay, then we can unequip the stuff. Okay, so that's all there, and then we can equip what we need. And then we can go on to our run. Yay! Okay, so we got the basics done. That works. Do I have... I want to do one more thing. I want to see, do I have a... items. Let's create a new resource. Item data. I'm just going to call it potion for right now. That's perfectly fine. Item name. This is going to be a consumable, an icon. I don't know. Where's the Godot? What do they call it? It's just an SVG file. Did I erase it? I may have erased it. Nope, there it is. I'll just throw that on there. Item level 1, that's fine. I'm just gonna call it potion. Item description, potion. Sure. Allowed classes is gonna be any stat modifiers. It's not gonna do anything. And then we can just go into our shop menu. Shop menu. We add an element, quick load. We'll put the potion in there. Okay. So now we go shop here, come down. Nope. Okay, let's not use that icon because that's gonna it's gonna break things. Potion. Where did I just put the potion? Okay. Let's take leopard daggers. Copy a image. Potion. Paste. Then let's just edit the region. Let's use a I don't know. Sure, let's use this as an icon for now. That's on Pixel Snap. Okay, there we go. Close. Save that. Okay, so there's our potion. Okay, so we come into our shop. We got our potion. Buy a couple of these. Exit. Let's go equip. And look, we got all these potions that we can equip. So we'll take these off. So just potions. Potions and a great axe. Probably what we'll have to do is add like a tab over here as well. So we can do like weapons, accessories, consumables. So then we can put these the right way. So right now there's nowhere to put this. So it's gonna... Where is it going? Oh, I know. I know. So if we go into our equip item button. So nope, that's unequip. Equip item button. There we go. So when we do equip item, nope, that's here we go. Equip item button. Helps if I load up the right script. So if it's a type of weapon, we do this. If it's a type of accessory, we do this. We're just removing it. So every single time I equip it, it's just getting rid of it. But fair enough. I don't have the array yet into the character. So we'll just have to do that in here. Actor. We can just do this. Expert. We'll call it equipped pouch. Yeah, we'll call it pouch. P-O-U. Equipped pouch. And then this is going to be an array of item data. And then that's going to equal blank by default. Same with this. This will be nothing by default. Give them default values. There we go. Okay. So now we can have the equipped pouch, and then we just have to go back to shop menu, not shop menu, the 2D equipment menu. Item to equip. Why did I... Is this using the wrong scene? Unequip button, unequip button. I don't know why that's using the wrong thing, but just seems weird. Okay, there we go. What we need to do is we need to add in, let's say 1, 2, I'll just do 2 more for now, but this is going to be a consumable. This will be a consumable. So then we can have consumables go into there. So that we have the consumable slot. And we just take this right here. Item type, accessory is consumable. Dot equipped. And this is going to be where it's a little bit different because this is an array. If game party member dot equipped ACC, we're going to remove this. So equipped pouch pouch dot size does not equal 0. So if there's something to remove, then we can take that. Oh, you know what? No, because this, we can also do it with a slot type and slot. And let's do a export var slot. Well, just do pouch pouch number. Here we go. Int equals 0. That's fine. And then here, instead of size, we can just do if equip pouch. If there's something in that pouch number, then we can just do that. Okay. So then we can just take the equip pouch number. Let's see here where we do this. Add item, game manager parties, equip number, party number. Here we go. Boom. Pouch number. Okay. And then member number dot pouch number, equip pouch equals null. Okay. So we can do that. And that should do that. So if we do this and we say this is pouch number 0, this is pouch number 1. Okay. Save. This is, let's go back to our actor. Let's set up. We want to make sure that there's 4 elements in the array to start with, because we want to have 4 bag slots. Because if we don't do that, when it tries to access slot 0 and slot 1, it's going to fail and say, hey, this is out of index. So we'll do that. Okay, that should do these. Okay, so that should show if there's anything there. Okay, so rogue, yep, that's fine. We don't have these. Boom. If we go to the shop and we this equip, this isn't going to work yet because we don't have it going to the first unassigned slot. Okay. We got that. We've got shop menu, equip menu. Where is our equip button? Equip item button. Here we go. So we just basically need to take this and say if it is consumable, don't need this. What we need to do here is we need to loop through for slot in. What we do? What is our? How are we doing this here? Equip menu. Oops. Equip menu dot current character dot pouch, or no, equipped pouch. For each one in the equip pouch, if item, not if item, if slot does not equal null, then we can add the item to the slot. Game manager at town inventory. Oh, no, we don't want to do this. This is swapping things. We don't want to swap. So if it's not null, then we can do this. Current character equip. We can just do slot equals item. Slot equals item. Okay. And then we can remove it from the town. We should probably have a check in here. Var equipped. Bool equals false. Okay. Copy. And then right here, we can just do if equipped. Then we can do these two things. So then here we can do equipped equals true. Up here, we can then do equipped equals true. So then we don't have that issue of we just delete all of our potions. Okay. We'll go shop. We'll buy some potions. Boom. Exit. We go equip. Okay. And then this is probably not going to refresh properly. Error rogue. Potion. Okay. Is it not? Why is it not? Oh, did I do? We did this. We did the sub slot. So when we buy the item, let's go down here. Let's just put this here. Equipping pouch. Okay, let's just make sure that that's working. Rogue. Equipping pouch. Okay. Let's just check. Rogue. Let's look at his equip pouch. Equip pouch. Item. Did not add an item. Okay. If slot does not equal null. Oh. If slot equals null, then we can add it in. Okay, let's try that one more time. There we go. Exit, equip, potion. Boom. Okay, go over rogue. Let's look at our equip pouch. Still didn't add it in, but we're trying to equip it here. For slot and equipment, equipped pouch, print slot. Okay. If slot does not equal null, and then we can just do, this will be exit. Is it exit? No, it's break. Break is what I want. Break. Okay. So we'll break out of that loop, and then that should be there. I'm just going to add in one more print here. Print, free slot found. Okay. As soon as I get this done, we're going to break for the day. So potion, equip, free slot found, and it should have added it. But we look at this, and it's not there. Oh, right, because we're doing a local variable, we're not doing the actual equipped pouch. So what we need here, we'll need a var index int equals 0. If the slot equals null, do this, else index plus equals 1. Oops, I need a colon there. Okay, so then this needs to be this equals this index. Okay. So now buy a shop, equip, potion, rogue. Hey, look, there it is. Okay. And then we just have to fix these buttons here. So when they're in a consumable, oops, Control Z. Else if slot is type consumable, item equals, do we, this, we do have the item pouch number. Here we go, copy. Gotta hop off and get set up. Thanks for good stuff. Yeah, thanks for joining, Danny. I will jump over to your stream as soon as I get some lunch. So if you guys aren't familiar with Fat Earth Studios, check him out on YouTube, and he's about to go live here in about 50 minutes. And there's my son. Okay, let's see here. Where are we? Unequip. We got this pouch number. Consumable equipped pouch number. Oh, we need to up here. This is where I was doing. Sorry. I'm listening. Equipped EQUI equipped pouch number. Okay. So we do that. That should set that all up. Okay. So now if we go shop, potion, go back, we equip, boom, potion. Yay. So now if we come back and we do another potion, and then we go equip, should have put it. Oh, did I not set up the pouch number? Let me just double check here. Where is equip pouch? It did not go to the next index. Free slot found. Okay, so we're going through here. Equipping pouch. We found it. We equipped it. Free slot found. And we set that up. We put that item in there. Equipped equals true. Break. Else we increase the index. Okay. So that's fine. And then we did this. Okay. Okay. I think this is going to be a good spot to call it for right now. I'll have to come back and do that. So we'll stop our timer here. And let's see here. Where is this? So we've got the equip screen working. I've got that one little tiny bug to work with the pouch stuff. I've got a couple more things I want to do with the pouch because I want to make sure that we limit it to only 4 item slots. And we will hopefully be able to get that done tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll finish up this equip, and then we'll go to our build our UI next, or the rest of the UI. So we'll start doing that tomorrow. Hopefully we should be able to get through that pretty quick. Sorry, gotta hop off real fast here because my son is not happy and I need to go help relieve. So I will be back, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. So have a good day.